So when we talk about increasing, decreasing, or constant, what we're looking at is we're looking at the direction that the function is traveling. So when we read functions, we go left to right. We say that a function is increasing if when we move left to right, the y values get larger. What that means is our function ends up having a slope that's a positive slope, and it looks kind of like this, where we have an arrow or the direction of the function is going upward. When we are decreasing, the function's going to be going downward, or the y values get smaller as we move left to right. So we're going to think of a negative slope. And when it is constant, then the y values stay the same as we move left to right, and we get a piece of the function that is a horizontal line. When we ask questions about increasing, decreasing, and constant, what we're going to do is we're going to ask for the x values where the y values are changing in this fashion. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the graph that you have here. And what we see is this function is never going upward. We never have a slope that looks like that, that's going up. So it's never increasing. However, right here on this left part of the graph, let me click the right tool. On this left part of the graph, it's going down. So for that part of the curve, we are decreasing. And we need to find the x values where we're going down here. So this point where we stop is going to be x equals 2. Because we have an arrow here, you can think of this as x equals negative infinity, because it's going to keep going to the left. So our y values are going to go down as x moves left to right along here. So our y values go down while we move left to right when x is between negative infinity and 2. So we are decreasing on the interval negative infinity to 2 because we have a negative slope, and as x moves left to right, the y values go down. As far as constant is concerned, now I'm going to highlight that in yellow. We see right here in this part of the curve that I just highlighted in yellow, the y value stays the same. We have a horizontal line. X changes along here. We can move, starting at 2, we can move to the right, but as we move through these points, the y value is always the same here. So the function is constant here. So we're going to start constant at x equals 2. So we'll put down a 2. And we'll stay constant until the end of the graph. Because we go to the edge of the graph and we have an arrow here before I marked it up, you can view that and think of that as x equals infinity. Sorry for the random mark there. So we're going to be constant from x equals 2 to infinity. And we're going to be decreasing from negative infinity to 2. Again, we're never increasing because we don't see any point on our graph where the slope looks like this, where it's going upward. It doesn't exist. So when you go to answer this question, what you want is going to be? The function is increasing on the intervals. Let me get it bigger. So for the first part, for A, where are we increasing? There's no interval in which the function is increasing. For choice B, where we're looking at decreasing, where that'd be decreasing on negative infinity to 2. And then where that'd be constant on 2 to infinity. I hope this helped a little bit more. If not, please feel free to ask me more questions tomorrow, and I would be happy to try to explain it more. I hope you have a good night, and I will see you in the morning.